Welcome, Divine. All right, so maybe you've checked out the Divine Feminine reading. I wasn't sure if that was going to be for both twins or not until I decided to pull this spread and see that this is the Divine Masculine, but it is so uniquely mirroring the Divine Feminine that it is the coolest read. It shows the exact twisting of how they're doing the exact same thing, but in a different way. You'll even see the similar cards as the Divine Feminine, but they should be doing that, right? Why? Because if it's the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, then it is both energies in one person. And why would one person be so split and upside down and jacked, you know? So this is perfect. So this is perfect for that Divine Masculine energy in you and those Divine Masculines that you are dealing with externally. Let's get right into this. We start out with the Divine Masculine, which is very interested in the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like the Wheel of Fortune, go Divine Masculine. What has you so fortunate? What's going on here with you? And it's just like, what? We're clarifying this with the destiny. So I'm like, okay, that's that 10. Let me wait. So where are we with this ending and beginning of what? What is this talking about? So we move from that Wheel of Fortune into the world. So it's like, okay, so this is like a big universal world change that has happened for the Divine Masculine, and they have received triumph and success in this area. But then it's like, then there's this steady movement, this steady, immovable movement that is clarified by mental conflict back into options. That leads us to transformation. What? The same position of the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. Isn't this, Divine Feminine read, well, both of course. Isn't this the ending of the deck for the Divine Feminine reading that we just did? Isn't this the top of the deck clarified for the Divine Feminine reading we just did? So why is the Divine Masculine starting out like fortunate, everything changed, triumphant success? Then you're moving towards the same contemplation of your material and your spiritual prosperity and transformation, just as the Divine Feminine. Why are you here looking over all of these options again? So this is very clear, but it's so cool how this is laying out and happening. What's happening with the Divine Masculine is what you recognize in the Divine Masculine energy that we've had in the past readings, which was the Divine Masculine energy was doing all kind of moves and changing of jobs and relocation and just doing all kinds of stuff and getting themselves together. We had that verification with several and many of you with that Divine Masculine energy in you who are dominantly Divine Feminine. You were also taking on these things. Well, what happened was the Divine Masculine energy was very successful in handling these things. And then it shifted into mental conflict. The reason why this shifted into mental conflict and a need to go right back to the drawing board and overlook things and look right here back into the options again and move right into transformation is because of this. It's like, okay, so why are you in this contemplation and hermit mode, Divine Masculine? What is this solitude? What are you contemplating? Then it takes us right into this position of this discontent and boredom of what? This financial and material changes. So it's like the Divine Masculine energy, come on now. So you were so focused to Divine Masculine energy. I love this, and congratulations to all of those physical world changes that you made happen in the financial and material area. You made moves, different locations. You different ways to make money. You put a lot of energy and focus into making that happen. I even get that from the past months or so, that's been your distraction point. It's been really focusing on how am I going to do it in the physical? How am I going to make it happen? I have to get this together first. I have to make this happen first before I'll be in that space to be able to do anything. So much focus was there, and it's like, congratulations, you did that. You successfully maneuvered things for yourself, divine masculine, in the physical world. You made it happen. Well, then it put you back into that contemplation stage, because it's like, oh shoot. Well, after you made it happen and you put so much energy in making these transformations, these moves into getting more income, into figuring out new ways of showing up to do stuff in the physical world, you're now at contemplation, because you're like, wait a minute. See, the divine feminine, there was so much focus on your material, okay? So this is the mirror part that you get to see. That's cool. This motion is happening for both of the twins, which is beautiful, because you see that shifting of both of the waters flying up there, because that's how you know this is a twin motion right here within the full moon. So, and we have both material and spiritual prosperity, because you get the entire kit and caboodle for divine union. It is not one, it is all. Otherwise, it would be like every other union. Not here, not here. The transformation that has happened to happen for the divine masculine was easy for the divine masculine energy to go in and be like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to make more money, make this happen. I'm going to figure out how to make a move. I'm going to physically move to a new place. I'm going to get a new car. I am going to get my money up. I'm going to pull my money back from here. I'm going to start allocating it that way. I'm going to transform and go to a new location. That is around the divine masculine's area. That is light work for the divine masculine. Yes, there was a lot of time in play, but the time was in play because that's just the natural nature of time that takes to maneuver things within the physical world for the divine masculine, simply because the divine masculine moves from that mental place from that intuitive center that was needing to happen. Well, guess what's happening? The divine masculine energy is making a shift. We know they're making a shift. What's the bottom of the deck for the divine masculine energy? Spiritual union. What's the transformation about? Material and spiritual prosperity. When you look at the divine feminine reading, the divine feminine is holding on the end of getting their material world together. The divine feminine will let go of their material world and be all up in the spiritual, all up in the spiritual union, all up in the spiritual world. Got it on check. The divine feminine is anchoring in getting their physical world in check. The divine masculine energy is anchoring in getting their spiritual world in check. That has them both right here in this duo position in the flow up under the moon, happening right now in the universe. The twins are coming together to create the entire kitten and caboodle of what the divine union, what everybody's in this thing for. The divine masculine energy is now went into that solitude and contemplation, because they're like, why am I bored with this? I've spent so much time trying to make these financial and material changes. I was working on trying to move. I was working on trying to get out of this situation that I was in physically. I was working on trying to get these documents and papers signed and taken care of. I was working on trying to get this co-parenting situation together. I was working on getting my money up. I was working on moving, and that was triumphant. That was success. That was destiny. That was great. So why am I discontent and bored? Why didn't that fulfill me for a long period of time? Why am I now sitting under the moon contemplating? And why am I in a transformation? And what is it about this spiritual union? Then we pull out the Uno. I love these Uno cards because it came out just like we needed it. Look at all this green. Look at all this green. What is this about? What is this about? What is this about? So this is that heart, that Are you doing things that are connected to your heart's desire, that intuitive center within? Okay, this is going heavy, 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 heavy within that heart chakra area for this divine masculine energy reading. What we have right here is the divine masculine go 5, okay? So it's like 5, okay, that's changed. That's good for the divine masculine energy when it comes into that heart connectional point. But it's like, well, why does it not get us anywhere? It's like dead zone again, just like we recognize with the divine feminine reading. So then we go into the reverse point. What is our reverse point coming out with the divine masculine? The divine masculine's reverse point is coming out in what? Throat chakra. Straight blue throat chakra. What's happening with the divine masculine energy? The divine masculine energy is recognizing that the reverse that has to take place for them to make a gain. See, even though they made all of those steps and got to a point of 5, it gave them no deal. Why did it give them no deal? Because the reverse point that is needed is within the throat chakra of communicating. Communicating what? From their heart center. And when they start communicating from their heart center, which is what? This may be a 10 within the completion point of things that had them in that material world when they had to make changes in the physical world. And I mean wreck shop, get it happening for the divine masculine. It shifts them into now a new beginning. We need to know what's going on in your heart, darling, and you have to reverse the game. You have to speak it. You have to speak it from your throat chakra. We got to know deep down. See, that is where that discontentment is. Look at that outlining. Discontent because you're not paying attention what? To deep within your heart. And you're at the new beginning of that. The new beginning of deep within your heart sends you right into the spiritual union of things. So the divine masculine energy is now moving within those spiritual side. I need a deeper meaning for why I'm doing all that I'm doing. I need a deeper connection to everything that I'm doing. I need more than just having my financial and my material success. I need more just than having my place. It's just to myself. Having these documents sealed and signed of freedom, having this money, this new job opportunity. I need something that is going to fulfill my heart. And I am beginning that now. I have to reverse how I've been doing it, which is, it looks like I was following my heart's desires, okay? And I do have that, but I do have a no deal simply because the reverse has to happen in the throat chakra, which means that it has to be communicated. And why does it have to be communicated? Because this is a motion of 2. The divine masculine energy is starting to understand the importance of duality, the importance of 2, the importance of union, the importance of why it was great that they were able to obtain all of these things on their own and make it happen. But now they're trying to figure out that the reason why they became in mental conflict and they're back looking at their options and they need more is because they're looking for this to be shared within their lives. They're looking for this to be shared within their lives. What shared within their lives? Everything. They want to be able to communicate about this stuff to people. They don't want to have their heart's desires and then it doesn't go anywhere. It's like they made 5 steps and it ended to nowhere. Why? Because they weren't communicating anything. They weren't communicating anything to anybody. So they didn't make any connections with the moves that they were making. So now they want to transform how they do this. They want to transform how they do this material and spiritual prosperity. They don't want this to be a solo journey for them anymore. So they're in deep solitude and contemplation about no longer living life and it being a solo journey. They're wanting to have more of a connection with the moves that they make, because even though they can make it to that financial and that material success, they can do that. This is divine masculine energy. That's not hard. They're back at the drawing board now looking at their options like, well, where do I go now? Where do I go now? But the reason transformation has to take place is because they have to move in a new way. The same as the divine feminine reading. You got to move in a new way. You can go and do 5 more things. 5 more things of what your heart desire might be, and it leads you nowhere. But when you reverse and you start using your throat chakra and you start connecting, your heart is about connecting to the things that you desire. And that connection is coming from speaking that out and coming into those connections with others within that area. It's the same thing with the divine feminine, where the divine feminine had to learn to move away from this way of doing things and begin to connect in partnerships and alliances to lead them to a new pathway for that material success. The divine masculine is learning to lead to a new pathways of connecting to people for that spiritual connection and success, to not feel discontent and bored. See, the reason why they're recycling and creating, and then they end up feeling discontent and bored with it is because they're not connecting. So you can go 5, don't make it anywhere. They're learning how to communicate and connect from a new beginning place within the heart chakra. We're going to go into this. The reason we're going into this, let's see, the vortex pulls. Oh, I like that. I didn't even know these cards had numbers on it, but look at there. It has a 10 in the corner if you can see it. It's little at the top. That jumped out at me. The reason it jumped out at me because we do have that 10 play of that ending point, and it's like the essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. That is the point of destiny. So it needed to match within the destiny of the twin flames and the divine union. This is a union where you get everything. Everything. So it's like the essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. So recognizing that you are supposed to have that material physical world ascending above, and you are supposed to have that physical world ascending above. So we go right into this. People are not finding it difficult to find the mate of their dreams because that person is not out there, but because of their own contradiction to their own desire and the thoughts they offer about the subject every day. When you consistently offer thoughts about your future relationship that feel good while you think them, that means you are consistently matching the desires that you have discovered as you have lived life. And under those conditions, only someone in agreement with your desires could come to you. I told you this was about the divine masculine energy connecting. And they're recognizing that that is what brings them that fulfillment and takes them out of that disconnected and boredom. And that they're recognizing that the way that they have been speaking, which is not that I get, and thinking is not how it is to get them to that place of having that connection, that deeper connection with a person. They're really learning how to connect. And I get that even though the divine masculine energy has been in, they have been in all kinds of situations and relationships, but they have not been able to narrow down this green, that heart connection type place to it. They go into them and they do this. They build those foundational places from a financial standpoint or some way of working within that spacing of it and have triumph and success. But now it's like, no, I'm bored with that. I don't want to go in and just be this piecing or go about my life and be on my own and just obtain these things. They are wanting more. They're wanting to feel a connection. They're wanting to connect to things from their heart center space, and that transformation is happening, which is beautiful because you even see that holding over the head of the masculine. So it is that transformation in the way that they think about those connections with other people so they can have everything. It goes in and it says, if it was just about surviving, getting by, and keeping things the way that they are, this is a universe card, I mean they're perfect, then how would you explain your wild imagination? If it was just about sacrifice, selflessness, and altruism, then how would you explain your burning desires? And if it was just about thinking, reflection, and spiritual stuff, then how would you explain the physical world? Get the picture? Want it all? That's what it's there for. Vroom, vroom, the universe. I tell you, all these cards came out perfect. Even the fact of getting a universe in the divine masculine, I mean a reversal in the divine masculine, and also in the divine feminine. They are absolutely perfect because it's showing exactly what's happening. The divine feminine and divine masculine energy are discovering right now what gives them the divine union and what is the power between the two energies. And what they're getting right now is that the power horse of the divine masculine energy that has been able to handle the material and the physical world bosses, have now transferred that energy within the divine feminine, who is balancing that out and anchoring that within their individual lives. And then the divine feminine, who has been able to handle the spiritual world like bosses, is transferring that over to the dominant divine masculine energy, who is now honing in the balance of the spiritual within them. And the spiritual within the divine masculine energy looks a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily look maybe like all of this per se. It looks like, yeah, maybe I can connect with somebody on an internal level in all of this, and it'll make it all pretty grand. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is beautiful. This is that internal heart spacing of connection, knowledge of why it is necessary, and a loss of desire for that separate movement. Why? Because the twins are supposed to have it all. So it is for that physical world and that spiritual world success. The golden mission. The golden mission is union. Union within self, then union with others.